In terms of a person's body count, then what is too much? How if you're talking to a person, you find out their body count's extremely high, is that a bad thing, or is it something that you just look past?
I think it so depends.
Yeah, because
depends on their age.
Yeah,
it does.
massively.
Like if they're 18 and they've slept with like 40 people, then you'd be like, how the hell have you managed that?
But I think it's like, it does depend, because like I was seeing someone whose body count was like in the 40s, and the reason it creeped me out is because he was like from home, and I knew so many people he'd slept with, and it just creeped me out a little bit, and I was a bit like, this feels a bit, like, I don't know, it's like everyone knows what you like in bed.
Yeah.
I just think it's
it
a
also
bit.
depends what they're looking for. If they're suddenly telling you that they want like a long-term committed monogamous thing, but then their body count's like 3,000, then you're like, well, that's clearly not the case from the past.
What's the difference between having a high body count and sleeping with one person so many times in a relationship?
Because if you're looking for that commitment with someone, the fact that they've just been with that one person, it doesn't matter how many times they've done it, they've shown that there's that commitment to being with one person, rather than just...
In terms of general though, in terms of like finding a partner, if they didn't say they were in a relationship with you, but you were talking to someone and you found out their body count was 40, how does that differ? Because someone who's been in a relationship might have had sex 1,000 times, and that's just because it's with different people. Should that matter?
No, but it makes you hesitate.
Yeah.
Okay. Why? Is that a social stigma?
No, it's if you're looking for that commitment with someone, you're more likely to they might not be because they've not done it in the past. Whereas if one person, if you've slept with like 2 people but over like 4 years of relationships, you've shown that you've done it in the past.
Girls? Thoughts?
I'd say it's not that different really. Like, you've had sex, if you're going on times, the amount of times you had sex, when you're in a relationship, chances are you've had sex more than someone who's been single but their body count's in the 40s. But I think, I don't know.
There's a part of me I'd rather not know about
Yeah.
someone's like. I think it's just personal.
I don't think
telling
it
their
matters,
past life,
their body
like-
count. I just think it's kind of. I don't think I don't know. I think I get where Will's coming from in the sense of like, it shows that they can have a commitment, but also it's like, if they've just not found that person yet, then like they are going to go out, and if they want to go on a night out and shag someone, then
They're going to
crack on.
And if they're treating you right and
Yeah.
everything else, then I don't think it really matters.
Yeah.
Okay, so then, would you rather want someone whose body count is in the 30s, or would you rather want someone whose body count is 0?
30s.
Don't care.
Oh, why?
I just feel like, well, I wouldn't ever, if someone says to me my body count's 0, it wouldn't make me run a mile. Actually, I don't think I'd say
Yeah, do you know what? I
wouldn't
don't
actually
mind.
care.
I wouldn't care.
No, I wouldn't
I
care.
wouldn't care.
Really matter.
Have you ever met a person that actively looks for people that's 0?
Have you?
Yeah, I know like boys that are like, oh, if your body count's above 4, but they're just weird.
Yeah.
I think that just shows that they're very insecure. I think that's just insecurity in someone. If they're looking for someone with a body count that's like mega low, I think that's an insecurity from them. I don't think that's a reflection on the person, if I'm honest.
No, I agree.
Is a body count something you feel should be discussed in a relationship before you get into one?
No, I think it's so irrelevant.
Yeah.
I think it's relevant, but then sometimes the curiosity.
Yeah.
Yeah,
When you're in the relationship,
I think it's
it's
fine,
like,
but like,
yeah.
I think when people ask that question, I think it's like it has no relevance to
Yeah.
the
I think
situation.
if they're actively withholding it,
Yeah.
then that would become a problem. But if they were withholding it and it was 10, that would be more of a problem than if they just told me it was 50.
Right, yeah.
But if you got into a relationship with someone and you asked that question and then they turned around and said, oh, I've slept with 300 people, would that then be a red flag for you?
So, no.
No? Girls?
I don't
I
think
think it
so.
would take me aback, but I don't think it would.
Yeah, I would be a bit like, well, where are we going to have
Yeah.
a shot? But I don't know, I think in terms of importance of body count, I do think that like boys generally, and that's not saying that's like you two, but I mean boys generally care more about a girl's body count than a girl does a boy's.
100%.
Because I think it shows like for a girl, like nowadays it's like a certain connotation of that person. If this girl's slept with 15 people, they're like, oh, like just a bit easy. But it's not often the case. If a boy slept with 15, it's like,
Yes.
oh,
Well done, congrats.
how should I get?
Yeah.
Do you agree with that statement? Do you think boys
that
care
is-
more?
Yeah, I'd
Probably,
say
yeah.
so. That is like
They always have done now, haven't they? Even like before our generation, it always like you'd have these bachelors that were going out and doing whatever, but if a woman
Yeah, we
came
can't
out of
even
wedlock,
call that
that was then done.
Why do you think that's changed now? Do you think that's just changed with just modern times and things like that?
Yeah,
They-
basically.
Yeah. What in terms of boys like caring about a girl's body count? What do you mean?
Yeah, so the fact that like obviously it was always a bad thing that boys could have like body counts that were about the hundreds, girls could have had to have body counts that were like smaller. Do you think that's kind of changed
No,
now?
I think there's still the
I
stigma.
think there's
Yeah.
still
Still
the
a stigma.
stigma.
Yeah.
It was worse.
Yeah.
I think,
Now it's-
yeah, it was a lot worse, and it's not every boy that would be like that, because like, I know plenty of boys that don't really care,
Mm.
but it's them, the boys that are like, I think it's like showing like they were looking for a wifey and stuff, and I just
Yeah.
think just because she slept with 15 people
Yeah.
doesn't mean she's not a
Not
wifey. Like,
Yeah.
it's often, I think it's like toxic masculinity though. I just think they're insecure, and that's why they're looking for someone who's like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's not
Do I
been
think
with
it's
as many boys.
immaturity as well?
Yeah,
Yeah,
massively.
Because if you, especially if you're a guy that's not slept with as many people, or if you've slept with none, and then your girl that you're seeing, you found out that she slept with all of these people, it could scare you. Because you think, well, I've got no experience, and she knows
Yeah.
exactly what she wants, and I don't know what that is.
Yeah.
That could be
Yeah.
scary. As much as someone being like that, but don't want it just because of that.
Yeah, no.
How do you think you get around a scenario like that?
Talking to someone
Okay. Communication again.
Mhm.
Most important.
pretty much solves everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you think that there is a very, not dangerously high, but you think there is a more of an expectation for a boy to perform in a bedroom than
Yes.
a girl's perform?
Yeah.
I think it's quite easy for a girl to be a pillow princess.
Yeah.
Because, like, in general, like, dates, I don't know how to say this, but a boy's generally more dominant than a girl.
Yes.
So when you're having sex, I feel like it's not even necessarily that, like, I'd expect him to be, like, mega dominant. I think, from my experience, they want to be able to, like, perform well, essentially. Like, it
Yeah.
would bruise their ego if they
Yeah,
didn't
yeah.
perform well.
Yeah, it's just that like masculinity.
Yeah.
I think.
Not just sex, but if you're doing other stuff as well, a guy is much more likely to be confused by female anatomy than a girl.
Yeah.
Like,
No, I
it's much
completely
more
agree.
simple.
Yeah. No, yeah, I think, like, yeah, they definitely, I'd say boys definitely do, just from, like,
Yeah.
But I would also say it'd put you off from a guy if being a pillow princess is fine, but
Mm.
if you've been with someone for 6 months and they're still
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
doing
completely.
that, that would be as off-putting.
Yeah, no, completely. I think it's like it should be a 50-50 thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I can see why boys would want to be under more pressure to perform better than a girl would.
Next one.
On to the next one. So in terms of sticking in the bedroom then, in terms of contraception, who should be responsible for contraception in the bedroom?
The man.
The males.
Define contraception. So I'd say both.
You guys define contraception.
Well,
So I think like condoms
Preventing
and
a
stuff,
baby.
Yeah.
apparently.
both people should bring one. If you're going out looking for,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree with
You
if
that.
you're
should
looking
both
for it,
have
yeah,
one.
no. But I think it in general,
Boys
like-
are a lot more, what's the word? Not apprehensive, reluctant
to
To
use,
use a
you're
condom
talking about
as a-
condoms
yeah.
rather than like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
and I
So I'd
think
say it's a lot easier and more often than not for the girl to have, easy's wrong because hormones and everything, but to have like the pill or,
mm,
Yeah, but I think
Yeah,
that's just
yeah,
society
something.
that's made that easier.
yeah, but I think if there was one for a guy as well,
Yeah.
I think that would immediately get balanced out.
Yeah, no, definitely.
But stuff with just a condom, I would say it's more likely to be a guy.
I
than
think
say
on, like,
than a girl.
a first night, if you're spending the first night with them, I think it shows like a lot about a boy if they bring a condom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And if they ask as well.
and they're like, and they take it upon them rather than being like, oh, are you on the pill?
Yeah.
So like,
Yeah.
does that mean I can spaff in you? Like, no,
No.
put a condom on. But like, do you know what I mean? But do you know what I mean? Like, boys tend to like,
But do you not think that also means that they're a bit thick?
yeah,
Because,
no,
Like,
valid.
as much as like a pill stops you having a kid, it doesn't stop you
No.
getting an STI.
No, yeah,
Yeah.
true.
Very true.
I think that's it.
So if a guy doesn't bring a condom and doesn't, what are you thinking then? No.
I would
Probably
absolutely not
not.
sleep with them.
Surely it must depend though, because if a guy's not expecting to go out and pull, and
Yeah.
he does,
Yeah.
if you then ask he doesn't have a condom, and he says that, and then he's fine with stopping everything,
Yeah.
that can't be as bad as if he's like, no, but we'll do it anyway.
Yeah.
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 Oh yeah, like, I'm not expecting to have like, if he had one, but like if I was like, regardless whether I'm on contraception or not, I'd be like, no, like you can wear one.
Yeah.
Would you be more annoyed if you had one and didn't want to use it than if you
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Definitely.
Because I just think that's just being like,
Yeah.
like that's just not fair. If
Yeah.
that makes sense. Like, if you've got one and you're not using one, I just think like that's a bit. You need better like shagging etiquette than that.
Here's a question then. In a relationship, because obviously then, you know, women then can obviously go on the pill, like if you're in a long-term relationship and things like that, you might use a condom at the start, but you might not use a condom during the relationship.
Mm.
Why?
I'd say that's more on STIs.
Yeah.
I think it's the trust and stuff, isn't it? Like when you're in a relationship, you're a lot more open with each other and like in that sense, and you're being safe in the sense of like if, for example, I'm on contraception, so if I was in a relationship and we were both clean, I'd be like, yeah, cool, like
Yeah.
Yeah.
you don't need to wear a condom. I think it's more in the earlier on stages where it's like you don't know where they've been, they don't know where you've been.
Yeah.
Also, from a guy's point of view, if I took a girl home and she said, no, you don't need to do that, I've got a pill, I wouldn't believe her. 'Cause
Really?
just in case, yeah.
Fair.
Yeah,
Mm.
fair.
But it's better to be like, oh, she's on the pill, and then wear a condom anyway.
Yeah.
Then say she's on the pill, and then you
It's
find
like
out
covering
she's
your
not,
own back,
you've got
isn't
a
it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whereas especially as if you're in a relationship and obviously no contraception's 100% and you fell pregnant, you'd like to think your partner would be someone you can turn to and kind of be like, this is the situation I'm
Yeah,
in.
be supportive.
Whereas it'd be a bit weird if you just drop someone a Snapchat. being
Yeah.
like, "Bye,
And by the way,
happy Father's Day."
Elisa, you went really bad in reaction to Will's kind of saying that he would wear.
Oh yeah, that like you wouldn't, just in case they weren't on the pill, because I just find that.
I think that's a rarity.
Yeah.
Very much.
Yeah, but
Like,
safe than sorry, innit?
yeah.
It's
Yeah.
not. I wouldn't be like, I wouldn't turn around and go, liar.
Whereas,
I would also say, even if you're just passing it off as saying, yeah, but STIs are still a thing, and you wear it for that reason, there'd still be a thing in the back of my mind that'd be like,
Yeah.
No, I've more said really because I've just not really met a boy that has that.
No.
condition.
Said
Like,
that,
the
yeah.
boys I've met are like,
rare.
as
oh,
soon as they
don't
hear
wear
contraception,
condoms.
yeah, it's
Like they
without
don't.
a-
Yeah,
or most of them don't even care. They're just very much set in their ways of,
I don't wear condoms.
I'm not wearing a condom, so. deal with
Will mentioned earlier about a male contraceptive pill.
Yes.
Do you think that's something that should?
it. I think it should.
Yeah, but I
Yeah.
don't think boys would take it.
No.
Yeah, that's what
You
I was,
could.
yeah.
As a female, I wouldn't trust that someone had taken it.
So you'd be the same as well.
Yeah, I probably would be.
Yeah.
Because
Wasn't that
you
rude?
can't. You can't. I'm sorry, but you can't. I think it's bad.
I don't think a boy would. I don't think.
I don't
they'd
even
take
trust
it.
myself to take it,
you've
so I
gotta,
couldn't trust the boys to
exactly,
take
like,
it.
you've got to take it like the same time
Yeah.
of the day to be really like.
I think it depends, because also some of the ones for girls have got like horrible side effects.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It can do everything from like messing your hormones
Make you
up
wanna
to
jump out of the
periods
window.
to making you depressed. And
Yeah.
if the one for a guy, it would put a guy off. It was like, I'm gonna get a headache.
Yeah.
They'd still probably say
Yeah.
no.
Yeah, they would.
Yeah.
Because
But if
they're
you're
not used
speaking
to
to
it.
someone
In fact-
in your relationship and you
Yeah.
see
That's
that
why
they're
it's
having
like
all these horrible
The
things.
man's
it's
not the
like-
one getting pregnant,
Yeah.
so I feel like, I don't know,
They don't feel the pressure.
He's
as
got
much.
yeah. He wouldn't have the burden of a child. Well,
No.
he would in the sense of it would be his child, but I mean, it's
You'll be
female,
carrying it
it's,
for
it's
long.
their
Yeah.
body, and it's like that. Yeah, just, I wouldn't trust. I don't
No.
think boys would take it if
No.
it came out.
I think if you're in a long-term relationship, again, if the girl you're with isn't having any effects and she's happy to keep taking it, then
Yeah.
great. But if she's like hormones being thrown out the window and all this is going on, and that can be stopped by you just taking a pill, why would you do it?